Have you ever been mid-chase, crouched like a gremlin behind a wall, waiting to ambush a survivor, only to completely whiff and get flashlighted for your troubles? Yeah, that's the pig. She's stealthy, she's tactical, she's got one of the most iconic mechanics in the entire game, and yet she's still so unloved. Welcome back to Forgotten Foes of the Fog, the series where we dig up Dead by Daylight's most overlooked and unloved killers and ask, why have they vanished from the roster? Episode 7 drops us into the shadows with one of the game's most iconic and oldest licensed characters, Amanda Young, also known as the Pig. Introduced in Chapter 7, the Saw chapter, the Pig brought one of horror's most iconic franchises into the fog. She's not just a killer, she's an apprentice of Jigsaw, testing survivors with traps, stealth, and cruel decision-making. In gameplay, Pig has two core mechanics. Firstly, she can crouch to enter stealth mode, making her terror radius vanish completely and unlocking a lethal ambush attack that lets her lunge straight out of hiding. Secondly, her signature power, the reverse bear trap, allows her to, after downing a survivor, slap one of these contraptions on the survivor's heads, forcing them to find a jigsaw box to remove it. It's one of DBD's most unique mechanics, pure psychological pressure, but somehow it's not enough to keep her in the meta. Unfortunately, today, we will not be addressing the one time that DBD accidentally made Mandy bald, as iconic as that was. But let's be honest, the Pig is one of the coolest aesthetics in the game, but the moment the trial starts, that excitement can wear off quite quickly. And here's why she fell from grace. Firstly, her chase power is far too situational. Her ambush should be terrifying. A surprise lunge from the shadows, but in practice, it's clunky, slow to charge, and only works in very specific setups. The crouch will reduce her terror radius to 0, but it also tanks her movement speed to a very slow 3.6 meters per second. That means unless you've already closed the distance, survivors will just spot you crouching and comfortably run to the next loop or objective without any issue. And even if you do get a successful sneak and get close enough to pull off an ambush, the charge is so obvious and that guttural roar gives away your exact position. The survivors either pre-drop or run wide and make it completely useless. It's less gotcha and more please walk into this very slow lunge for me. And secondly, we have reverse bear traps that aren't as threatening as they seem. On paper, reverse bear traps are brutal. They threaten instant death. But here's the thing, they only activate after a generator is completed. And that means early game, you have zero pressure from your power. Then, once they are active, survivors can often rush boxes and remove them first try or very early on. They're not guaranteed slowdowns, they are conditional pressure, which makes your power a lot less effective. And survivors have learned how to work around them quite effectively. Strong survivors will bait chase to deactivate the timer temporarily, which will allow the team to progress the rest of the trial. They will heal first, they may even gen rush with them still active. Or, at the very least, they might trade hook states and farm each other to keep Pig stuck in a loop of wasting traps without gaining any real momentum. And if you slap a trap on someone who isn't on death hook, it doesn't really matter. Even if it activates, they'll probably just get it off anyway. And thirdly, let's be honest, she's quite a weak killer. She's mid-tier at best. At her core, Pig is an M1 killer with a Zalade telegraphed power. She doesn't teleport, she doesn't slow down gens, she doesn't even have map pressure, unless survivors completely ignore the traps that are on their head. In a meta full of speed, control, and lethal tempo, Pig is stuck in 2018 DBD. Her stealth, limited. Her pressure, inconsistent. Her chase, weak. Unless you're a map-reading mastermind who plans ambush routes 5 steps ahead, you're gonna struggle to keep up with your survivors. Pig has kind of been forgotten as an old-style stealth killer. As more modern stealth killers have come into the game, the whole concept of stealth has changed. Pig came from an era where stealth meant being slow. Modern stealth killers, think of Ghostface, Myers, even Sadako, all get some kind of tempo boost out of their stealth. Ghostface will get an insta-down, Myers gets a god mode phase, Pig, she gets a slow lunge and no terror radius. Think about it. Where's the payoff? She's trying to compete in a meta that moved on without her, and she's simply been left behind in terms of stealth. And lastly, there's no real synergy or meta perks that work well with Pig's playstyle. Pig doesn't really synergize well with most modern slowdown perks. Think about it. Pain Resonance will require hook states. Deadlock doesn't delay your boxes by any way. Corrupt doesn't help her stealth. She thrives on disruption. not damage, and the current meta will reward aggression. Throw in some anti-stealth perks like Windows, Spine Chill, or even just basic survivor coordination, and you've got a killer that is fighting an uphill battle every single trial at every single step. So, is the pig actually a bad killer? Absolutely not. Pig can be downright oppressive in the right hands, especially if you know how to use your bear traps effectively. If you can manage trap timing and ambush at key loops, you can become an absolutely deadly killer who can annihilate in any trial. Her slowdown isn't about raw gen delay, it's psychological. It forces survivors to make mistakes. It punishes uncoordinated teams, and it creates these incredible moments where survivors are inches from escaping, and suddenly, tick, tick, boom. You're too late. The challenge lies in the fact that she's a high-risk killer with very low forgiveness. If survivors know how to counter you, or if your ambush plays constantly fail, then you will turn into an uphill battle very, very quickly. So, is the pig a forgotten gem buried under years of power creep, or does she need more than just a buff to get out of the shadows? Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and next time, we'll be looking at more unloved killers as we continue Forgotten Foes of the Fog. If you've enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a massive thumbs up, it really helps me out, and make sure you smash that subscribe button to catch the next episode of Forgotten Foes of the Fog. Until next time, I will see you then.